raise your hand if you have ever bought a book or several books. And raise your hand again if you've still got most of those books in your house today. So what is it about books that we want to hang on to them? Maybe I should really ask you another question. Raise your hand if you're in business. And how do we meet people in business? How do we get people to know who we are? Well, we generally go to events, something like this. And what happens at events? Everybody gives you a business card. So raise your hand if you have a pile of business cards that you have kept. But what do we do with them? If you're like me, you keep them in a very safe space, and you only ever go back and look at them if you absolutely need something. So would you agree then that we should actually give someone something, like a book, which we always keep? Yes or no? Yes. And have you ever wondered how some people seem to be head and shoulders above everybody else? They'll stand out from the crowds. People hang on to their every word. Now here's the thing. Can you believe that if you wrote a business book, you would be seen as that expert, that go-to person? Make sense, yes? Yes. Yep. So you're probably saying, how did I get here today? Come back with me to September 2013. And I'm in the scenic, the absolutely beautiful grounds of Stirling University. Sun's in the sky. It's a beautiful day, but it's autumn, and you can smell that woody and earthy undertone. And I'm looking at the canopies of the trees, the beautiful autumnal colours. Oh, and I can hear the rustling of the leaves as they chase one another along the pathways. And the outline of the baronial castle is casting this beautiful shadow on the lake because the sun is tilting away from the earth. And there's a mighty monument to William Wallace, Braveheart. But the sun's casting this beautiful golden glow over a picture of John, my Braveheart. He's the last special child I support in Uganda. And suddenly the door opens, and it's Leslie, aka Sarah Davis of Dragon's Den. Now, you know Dragon's Den, that's when entrepreneurs invest in new businesses. She's dressed immaculately, completely confident, oozing charm, personality. Do you know, Fiona, it's 3 weeks since I met you, and I'm really thinking I need to talk to you because, you see, my business partner and I are actually undergoing a bit of it's a bit of a trauma at the moment. And I know you do things like handbooks, business journals, all these sorts of things. Do you think you could help me get all of that knowledge and information out of my head so that we can get some intellectual property and I can get some money out of the business? Have you ever been able to see how you could just help someone there and then, know exactly what to do to help them make money? 3 weeks to the day, Leslie, aka Sarah Davis, she's back in the building. I've done everything you told me to do. I've written the handbooks, I wrote the journal, I've even got chapter headings now. But you know, I've really been thinking, quite a lot of synergy between you and I. Do you think we could work together? And I suppose looking back now, that's when the business began. And we had 4 glorious years, real fun at the university. And I actually took on a new role, Master of Ceremonies. You see, a lot of these visiting professors are very clever when they're behind the lectern, but put them in front of the lectern, and oh my goodness, they're just like you and I when it comes to public speaking. So I'd be on stage with them, introducing them, talking with them. And the most wonderful thing was I was earning all this extra money. So I was able to really support the charity in Uganda. And we were doing lots of really great projects. And with all of that speaking, I'd actually written my book, Discover Your Voice of Power. And it was about to be published. On a typical afternoon, Leslie and I sitting having our coffee. And there's a lovely shiny trophy, most inspirational speaker with my name on it. And a box of flowers had arrived, so I was pretty happy. And then we were interrupted. The telephone was vibrating across the table. Oh, Leslie. Sister Camilla, I bet you this is another call for Cash for Kids. Just let me take, no, I'll have my coffee. Don't worry, it won't be 2 minutes. Hello, Sister Camilla. Hello, yes, I'm great. Aha, yeah, I'm sitting down. John, what? Sorry. He drowned. No, I'm sorry. I have to go. Have you ever been in a situation where your world, someone gave you such sad news, your world stopped? My speaking stopped. My writing business books stopped. And my business stopped. And you know, they say time's a great healer, but you never get rid of the pain in your heart. I'd love to say it was like 40 days in the desert, but it was more like 4.5 years in the wilderness. And then spring came, and it's now January 2022, and I'm in the beating heart of Glasgow in George Square. And it's a pretty magnificent square, and there's a huge building. There's buildings on 4 sides, but this is the Chamber of Commerce, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's quite an honour to get invited. But I can feel the anticipation in the air, and I can hear a lone piper introducing everyone as they are welcoming as they come in, and even the police horses are clippity-cloppeting to the sound of the beat of the music. But I'm not registering. I see all these faces, and I've got that sense of nostalgia. And suddenly, Leslie's back, right in my face. Well, how did you go on with the book? I didn't publish the book, Leslie. I just didn't publish the book. What do you mean you never published the book? You had an ISBN, everything was organised, you had all the marketing material. You know, Fiona, with all due respect, it was John that died, but it sounds like all your dreams died too. And I suppose in a heartbeat, I realised that John wasn't the only hungry child, and children needed fed, so I needed to start working again and get going. So I'd love to say it was easy. It was not. But little by little, I started to get more contracts. I got one of the local authorities to ask me to do writing skills, which was amazing, working with these entrepreneurs who day one, or day zero, they were an employee, and day one, they were an employer. And then one of the big financial institutes said, look, you do a lot of speaking. Can you make sure all of our people just say the same thing, sing off the same hymn sheet? Because memos are back and forward, but they don't all say the same thing. But you know, people can be very interesting. So my friends were saying, oh, you're the new J.K. Rowling, is it? Oh, you're very good. And you're going to teach me to write a business book in 2 days? Well, you're clever. But it worked. If you're determined, it'll work. So you may be saying to yourself, where am I today? Well, I'm the very proud author of a business book, The Power of Your Words. And the first half of the book was all of the work that I had done prior to John dying. And in fact, the book is dedicated to John. So his memory is living on. And the most wonderful thing about it as well is that it actually got to #1 bestseller on the day it was published. Thank you. And the wonderful thing is the charity is really benefiting from it, so thank you so much. And you know, when I was working and getting through the book, I realised there are only 6 steps to write a business book. And each one of those steps has a word associated with it, and it spells the word bridge. And what I realised, if you take people by the hand and literally cross the bridge with them, they'll have their business book in those 6 steps. And the first one is build. So what do I mean by build? This is you building your why you're actually writing your business book. And then you need to recognise what makes you very different from everybody else, because you want to stand out from the crowd. And then you need to identify who are your target markets, who's interested in you and your products and services, and who will actually read your book. And then it's distilling all that amazing knowledge and information that you have. And of course, then you can generate your content. That's when the fun begins. And then you want to evolve. And what do I mean by evolve? That's you putting all of your heart and soul and all of the things that you have learned. It's not just what's up here in that in your intellectual capacity. It's all your personality and your abilities as well that goes into your book. And under each one of the pillars, there's a strategy. So that's how it stands up. And I designed the raison d'etre, which means why you're enthusiastic. What's your passion? Why are you doing the book? What's the outcome for you at the end of the day? And then you want to recognise, why are you different? Because you see, many of us, we're all very different. Some of us are really into continuous learning. Some of us love networking and collaborating with people. Others are really great at their communications and can give fantastic feedback. So you need to know why you're different, why you stand out. And the advantage of that was when you're dealing with people and they're confident, the shoulders go back, they're more relaxed. Your conversation changes and you're much more fun to be around. And then after you've got the identity, and I created this success structure because you see, it used to be we had an avatar. So you knew if your client was male or female and what age group, but we're much, much more discerning than that today. And we want to know so much about our clients. We want to find out, are they good at technology? What's their capacity? Do they know how our competitors are? And we want to know right down to psychographics. So we want to know what their values are, what are their interests, and what is their lifestyle all about. And does that flow through not only their professional life, but their personal life as well? And with Distill, now this is when the fun begins. And when I developed the Get It Right, the first thing that came into my head was fear. What's the fear? We've all got it. And it's false evidence appearing real. And the one advantage here is that with your clients, you can help them. You can tell them about all the mishaps, all the mistakes that you've made, because we've all made them. And you're literally making sure they don't get into any of the pitfalls that you've been in. So rather than speaking at them, you're able to advise them and tell them. And there's so much more fun here, because we don't want to be experts out here. We want to be specialists here, because out here, we're generalists, we're jack of all trades. But when you're a specialist, the beauty is you don't have to find the clients will find you. And remember, it's not who you know, it's who knows you, because that's the law of economics. And then with captivating copy, this is where the fun begins, because you've got that power of persuasion. You're actually involving your clients. You're giving them all the content. And you're really hoping, you're instilling that knowledge and information you have, because this is when they want to implement what you're doing. This is where you can really, really help them. And with the life work legacy, the last strategy, that's involving everything that you've ever done, all the passion, all that enthusiasm. Because it lives on. A book is not just for Christmas. It lives on. It is your legacy. So now you know why I'm so passionate about helping people. And if anyone's feeling passionate and if they've got any money left, they might want to buy a book today to help the charity. And because it's International Women's Day, I have some amazing offers if anyone really wants to, if they think they've got a book in them. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, raise your hand if you think that's a good place to stop.
Fiona Taylor, please.
Thank you.